Ye gods, Tralf! Did you read this report? Which one? 8428-100260002849-3.4. This... You need to read this. Like now. And I am... What the fuck did I just read? Is this a prank? Pray to Angun that it is, but... I don't think so. Well, fuck. What do we do? We send in the report, and then I think we need to bring this higher up. What do you mean? I think we need to call in a code 3. Tralf, those are for emergencies. Do you think that any champion is going to pass this along? This is unprecedented. Thank Angun we're in the middle of nowhere. Else... Shit. We need to lock down communications. Damn it, you're right. If anyone hears about this before the report gets through, and the report won't go through if it's sent through normal channels. Communications are now plugged. We're all quiet. And I'm using the code 3. Fuck. Alright, do it. Pray to Angun that whoever answers has mercy on us. Code 3 recognized. State your name, rank, location, and emergency. Captain Tralf, location 8428-100258849287. We need to send a report through to a saint. This can't be caught up in red tape. It's essentially heresy made by the universe itself. You understand the ramifications of a false Code 3. Believe me, we've had some discussions over here. Put me through, please. Understood. God's bless. Who is this? Is this some kind of joke? Universal heresy? Apologies, Lord Saint. Sending you the relevant report now. This isn't worth my damn time. Captain? Yes, Lord Saint. What the fuck did I just read? Our sentiments exactly, sir. My deepest apologies if I've overstepped my bounds. I can only request that any misconduct be viewed as transgression on my part alone, and that my crew be spared. Now will not be necessary, Captain. You did good to bring this to me. Lord knows that bureaucracy would have held this up for years. Immediate orders, Lord Saint. Observe and report. Secrecy is paramount. Captain. As of this moment, you are under my personal command. You are given the authority of a champion and answer to no saint save for myself. Captain. Under no circumstances is anyone from the Holy Federation allowed to reveal themselves to these people. If any attempt to do so, destroy them. I will handle everything else. I'll send these orders through immediately. Is that understood? Yes, Lord Saint. Good. If these humans have done everything as reported here on their own, the gods themselves will show interest. It would not do to take action without their guidance. Angun be with you, Captain Tralf. Thank you, Lord Saint. Linnell sighed. He was walking into what was possibly the most important meeting of gods in millennia. He had to hope that he didn't fuck this up. Lord Angun had sworn to protect him, but no god was omnipotent, at least none that they knew of. Linnell sighed again. At least the worst they could do was kill them. For all that the masses proclaimed them as gods, they had no real power over the mind or soul, only the physical realm. A fact that the wiser of them were always quick to remind their servants of, should the need arise. There were, of course, a few that carried themselves with an air of scorn for their lessers, but the more intelligent of the gods kept them in check. One did not stay immortal without a healthy dose of humility. He slowed a few meters from the door to the Grand Chamber, a place beyond which lay those who decided the direction of the entire Holy Federation. But the ceremonial guards were certainly watching him, so he quickly renewed his pace, entering the chamber, whereupon he became the focus of several thousand gazes. Gazes of gods, beings powerful enough to scour continents within a matter of minutes. "Linnell!" A voice broke through the deafening silence. Linnell bowed low. "Lord Engun." "Come, we will begin soon." Linnell made his way over to where his lord sat, near the center of the chamber, as they were directly involved with this report. Engun smiled a bit, his features literally swimming as a god of water. "A bit focused, aren't they? Most here have no idea that what's going to happen in the next few hours will decide the course of the next few centuries." Linnell stiffened as he felt the gods scrutinize him further. They had no real power over the mind, no. But a mortal mind can interpret its surroundings in the strangest ways. The moment was broken by a chuckle from another nearby god. "Engun, stop teasing them. They're making your servant uncomfortable." Engun blinked, then turned his gaze upon the others, who failed to meet his eyes. "You'll learn soon enough, brothers and sisters." They were interrupted by a loud pounding, as the ceremonial guards struck the floor with their weapons to announce the arrival of the last members of the meeting. "The counselors of the Holy Federation have arrived!" Linnell made to stand, but Engun held him back with a smile. "No need for that. They know who they are and what power they hold." Linnell swallowed, but stayed seated. Once the rest of the council was seated, the Lord of Fire took his ceremonial position at the podium. "Engun of Water, you have been called here today to discuss with this gathering the contents of the report 8428-10026 0002849-3.4. The planet involved hereafter referred to as Terra." There were a few chuckles at this. Most species called their home planet either Earth, Water, or some variation thereof. Engun stood. "My fellow beings, I will give you the short version, after which you will likely start yelling at me, and then we'll get into the long version. The short version is, the primary sapient species of Terra, known as Terrans, have found a way to achieve something similar to godhood, as it were. Given a few millennia, or our own interference, they would sit here as our equals." There was a moment of silence, followed by, as predicted, a cacophony of shouting, yelling, screaming, etc., etc. Linnell felt that he might faint, were it not for noticing a subtle shifting of the shadows around him. Evidently, the Lord of Darkness was keeping an eye on things, lest they get out of hand. They almost did. A few gods of air had risen up, some gods of fire lit ablaze, and at least one god of plants had sprouted a few trees nearby. The Lord of Fire was discontent to let things go beyond that, however. "Enough!" he spoke. All felt the temperature of the room rise drastically, and a few gods of ice shifted uncomfortably. All returned to their seats, silent. Engun indicated for Linnell to stand. "Warrior Saint Linnell will give the condensed version of the report, and the circumstances around its submission." Linnell cleared his throat. This was it. 3 standard days ago, a standard scan was made of Terra, following all exploratory protocols. The biosphere was discovered to have advanced life forms, and following such, a study into their culture and biology was made. Approximately 1 in 5,000 Terrans have the ability to manipulate the elements. All 10 elements have been observed to be in use. They standardize most of their users under 3 tiers, depending on their ability and raw power, and in one of 2 categories, depending on their primary way of fighting. The knights, knight lords, and dukes are focused on melee combat supported by the elements, while the mages, mage lords, and elementalists use the elements themselves to combat their foes. In addition to natural element manipulators, they have also discovered the existence of elemental runes and the spoken runic language. The most powerful rune users have some societal standing akin to the dukes and elementalists. Elemental manipulator or rune user, their ability in battle is one of their primary ways of deciding social standing, which leads into the primary focus of the report. The most powerful of the elemental manipulators, be they elementalists or duke, can further grow their power into the realm of what they call kings. These kings can grant elemental manipulation abilities to their followers. The collected gods began to make noise again at this, for such had been previously only under their purview, but were swiftly quieted by another rise in temperature. When this was discovered, a Code 3 was sent out, which I was personally assigned to. A strict silent observe and report protocol has been initiated. There has been one near miss in the last 30 hours, swiftly corrected. Further reports are available under Classification 0. The last statement was like the final nail in the coffin. Classification 3, or Code 3, were reserved for solar-level emergencies. Classification 2, for something regarding most sapients in a galaxy. Classification 1, for a galaxy as a whole, known or unknown. Classification 0, as per the Holy Federation's regulations, were only for events designated as affecting the Federation as a whole. The Lord of Fire observed the suddenly silent chamber. Finally, the gathered idiots were starting to think. Thank you, Warrior Saint Linnell. Now, the Council has already decided there will be no talk of extermination, conquest, or any such idiocy. If there is so much as a whisper of an attempt to control or exterminate this newly discovered species, I will personally pay a visit to those involved. Even Engun rippled at that. The last time the current Lord of Fire had paid someone a visit, a number of cities had to be evacuated to other parts of the continent. It has been decided that the Terrans may be able to bring us new ideas, as any other species might, not just for the masses, but for those of us here as well. Until a true first contact has been decided upon, the Terrans will be studied at a distance. Save for an outright hostile first contact, they will be given the opportunity to join the Holy Federation. I feel it unnecessary to remind those here of the reasons we prize equality and peace in our Federation, but I will have you make it clear to your subordinates. These Terrans, they are like us. They could be as our younger brothers and sisters. They will grow, and we will watch, and hopefully, one day, we may stand together. This I pray to any true God that may be listening.